distance, you can run the mile, you can walk straight through hell with a smile.
You could be the hero, you could get the gold, breaking all the records they thought never could be broke.
Yeah, do it for your people, do it for your pride. Are you ever gonna know if you never even try?
Cristo Reyes nimmt es mit dem King auf, mit dem König auf, der mit seinem Schloss sozusagen hier angereist ist in Mülheim, hat ein großes Wohnmobil hinten auf dem Parkplatz stehen. Der mag keine Hotels, der schläft lieber in seinem eigenen Bett. Er ist der World Masters Champion von 2004, hat auch bei der PDC 5 Major-Finals erreicht. Die Rede ist vom König. Herzlich willkommen, Mervyn King!
All hail, bow down to the king. Bow down to the king. Grinned red as he walked from the place where the traitor lost both his name and his face. Through the halls and the corridors, stinking in blood, he tasted his grin, and it tasted good. The king took his head, left it broken.
Mervyn King and Cristo Reyes duking it out for a place in the quarter-finals here at the European Darts Trophy in Mulheim, Germany. Michael Smith, the defending champion, awaits the winner of this one, having come through just about against Kevin Painter, given a stern examination by the former world finalist. Mervyn King, a former winner on the European Tour, made 4 finals on the European Tour. Finally won one in Sindelfingen at the end of last year. Taking on Cristo Reyes, a man looking to make it through to his first PDC quarter-final. Dan Dawson in the commentary box for this one, and Rod Harrington alongside me. I know you've been a big fan of Cristo Reyes since he burst onto the scene at the World Championships, making the last 16 there. Big fan of his beard?
No.
No.
Not a fan of beards. No, always clean shaven for me. No, since he burst on the scene, you know, all of a sudden, normally when anywhere in the world we hear of a good dart player, we hadn't heard a word about this guy. Just rocks up, and all of a sudden takes us to our professionals and says, you know, come get me. And he has been a real good player, and he's carrying on with it. Sometimes a player will come, have one good tournament, and you don't hear of him anymore. But he hasn't. He's keeping there. And certainly, you know, a good career if he carries on. But he's up against a tough cookie here in Mervyn King. Talking of cookies, apparently there's some in the staff room, isn't there?
Rod Harrington getting his priorities sorted. Yeah, just to run you through what Cristo Reyes has managed to achieve in his PDC career. Obviously won the Iberian qualifier to get to the World Championships, as he said, as a complete unknown. Saw off Wes Newton and Kevin Painter and took a set off Gary Anderson. Took the first set against Gary Anderson before Ando quite emphatically said, I've had enough of this, and blew him away. But he's hit 2 9-darters on the tour this year. He's made the last 16 of a couple of tournaments.
58.
Yet to make it to the last 8. This would be a first for Cristo Reyes, if he is to overcome Mervyn King. But Merv, all the experience in the world.
140.
3 major titles in the BDO, 4 major finals in the PDC and the Championship
85.
Final as well.
Cristo, you require 157.
157 for Cristo Reyes. Doesn't have to go in this visit. Might do though. It might do.
117.
I think that expression from him was, it was rather high. But he's going to come back to wrap the first leg up. But well, let's just hit the flight.
80.
There's a little bit of pressure on. Look, 3 clear
So
darts.
you require 40.
He just takes a big deep breath. That's a bit closer and a good guide. Oh, a bit of a snatch there.
Game shot on the first
last
leg.
dart in the double 10.
Second leg moment of throw first. Game on.
down the first leg to Cristo Reyes, a holder throw. He's already seen off Connie Finnan.
96.
And Brendan Dolan, the number 7 seed. He won that one 6-4 against Dolan. He's averaged 90 against Finnan, 93 against Brendan Dolan. If he is to go much further in this tournament, you would expect he's going to have to improve on that. Having said that, we've already mentioned, you know, Justin Pipe made the final in Venray and he didn't average above 93 in the whole weekend. So just about getting the win by whatever means necessary.
Yeah, it depends how you've got that average. You know, if you've thrown some great legs and the legs you've lost, they're atrocious, that will bring your average down. But if your average is a 92, 93, and that's consistent right across every leg, then you're not going to win a tournament doing that.
Well, we saw that against in the Terry Jenkins-Adrian Lewis match earlier on. Terry's averaged 91, but the legs where he was playing proper darts, he really was. He was playing brilliant stuff. There were just 2 or 3 absolutely abysmal ones on Adrian's throw. He's losing him by 300 points and dragging his overall average down, but
that's why sometimes the average, Dan, does not tell the true story.
Exactly. You can get fixated on the numbers. It's only really the legs one that you've got to worry about. Cristo Reyes has an opportunity here. The new beard is working for him.
60.
Even if it does occasionally make it look like he's just a disembodied face floating in the black.
Well, certainly Mervyn King has not got into any rhythm whatsoever. And you know, when you get an experienced player like King not hitting them, you've got to take advantage of it. And at the moment, Cristo is not taking advantage.
94. Mervyn, you require 142.
All over the place here, Mervyn King.
42. Cristo, you require
Section of the crowd trying to
128.
get a "We Will Rock You" chant going on, I think.
And we see Michael Smith take this out previously.
180. Mervyn, you require 100.
So Mervyn King down for the treble 16. Doesn't get it. Yeah, Merv's one of those players, if he has 80,
84.
he loves the double 16 so much,
Cristo, you require 10.
he'll go for the treble. Reyes splits the 10, so gives him 2 darts at double 4, and he pins it. Proves to be a wise decision. It's a break of throw, a 2-0 lead for the Spaniard.
First, game on.
And a very unusual 21 dart leg. We don't see too many of those nowadays. Mervyn King will be the first to know that he's got to improve.
125. 42. 43.
I'm 99% certain that Cristo Reyes would be the first Spaniard to make it through to a quarter-final on the European Tour. Antonio Alcinas hasn't done it. Carlos Rodriguez hasn't done it. I can't think of many more who have played on the European Tour.
Well, I can assure you I've researched thoroughly on it, and you're actually right.
60.
Hours slaving away in front of the internet, Rod Harrington, to make sure he gets his stats and facts right.
100.
But that's what the game needs, isn't it? Players from different countries breaking through and being the role models to get other players from their countries. You know, if Cristo goes on and improves and gets further in big tournaments, and we're seeing him more and more on the television, then it's only going to be a catalyst for more Spanish players to follow in his footsteps.
You're exactly right, Dan. I mean, there's nothing better than the PDC would like to see someone like Cristo Reyes come and win the tournaments. And along with some, you know, German, definitely need a German. I mean, Max Hopp is probably as Mervyn finally gets the dart on the board, leg on the board. You know, Max Hopp could be the perfect catalyst for Germany to step up. Because Germany, as you can see, is growing and growing.
Yeah.
You know, the standard, the crowds, TV.
Yeah, they are aching for a top darter of their own, aren't they? And I think that might, in a way, work against Max in a way, because he is carrying the hopes of an entire nation's darts fans on his shoulders, and will be over the next few years. We've got other players, you know, Jihan Artut and various other players who've been established in Germany for quite some time, but Max is very much the future, and I think he may need some other young Germans to come and share the burden with him.
I totally agree. Totally agree. But, you know, looking at the business side of the PDC, you know, at the moment there's no downturn at all in any of the tournaments back home, but there will in years to come be a downturn, and that's why they've got to spread it worldwide. So when there is a downturn, if there is a downturn, it doesn't affect the business, because then we rely on the rest of the world to carry on. And, you know, they keep pushing up the prize money. Barry Earn wants to put it up, and Matt Porter wants to put it up to 10 million. Of course, that money's got to be found from somewhere, and TV rights and crowds are where it comes from.
Mervyn staying on the treble 18 there, and he'll be back looking at double 16 after a couple of dodgy opening legs. Mervyn King appears to be getting into his stride. Michael Smith, the defending champion, awaits. Mr. Reyes just getting himself firm base.
Mervyn require 32.
Double 16 for Mervyn. It's his favourites. Double 8's just next door. Still next door.
Game shot, a full flag.
Two apiece.
Fifth leg, Chris on the throw first. Game on.
Well, when Mervyn won in Sindelfingen on the European Tour last year, he went there and back on his motorcycle.
100.
This weekend, he's brought his mobile home, his motorhome. Don't call it a camper van. He doesn't like that.
No, he doesn't.
It's a mobile home or recreational vehicle. And that is a 180 for the King.
And you can't miscall that.
No. And in fact, because Merv is in Innsbruck in Austria next weekend as well, he's not going home. He's spending the week driving around Europe.
Very nice too, if you have the time.
In his RV. Hopefully solving mysteries.
23.
Scooby-Doo? Yeah, Scooby, Shaggy, Daphne and Merv.
Well, we know what you do in your spare time. You watch kiddies' cartoons, don't you?
125.
Oh, he could just go around solving people's problems like the littlest hobo. Who knows? The adventures of Mervyn King in Europe and his mobile home. Ton 40 will give him 2 darts for a breaker throw and a third consecutive leg. Cristo Reyes. He managed to get those first couple of legs on 55. The board when Mervyn wasn't firing. As Merv has moved through the gears, Cristo has not been able to follow him. Topsy once. Down for double 10.
Game shot,
and a 12 dart leg for Mervyn King. 14 darts, 15 darts and 12 darts the last 3 legs. Mervyn King is into his stride.
Well, it's a bit like Dave Chisholm, the very first, or the second game of the day. Takes him a couple of legs to warm up. And once he is warmed up, then you know, he gets into a good stride. And he is a good solid player, Mervyn, has been for a long, long time. And just going on now, I wouldn't be surprised if he hasn't got his fishing gear in his camper van.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
What a life. 55. I wish I'd have still kept playing. I could have had that life.
If you're not busy this week, you can probably go with him.
140.
You and Merv driving around Central Europe, spot a fish, you'd be like Max and Paddy.
The conversation would be enlightening.
97.
Mervyn King looks to have Cristo Reyes right where he wants him. 3 legs on the spin, 48 points plus these, and he's back in the treble. Oh, lovely stuff.
34.
Lovely stuff. Cristo's got to find something here, and You just see he's getting a little bit frustrated. That's below the bed he was aiming for.
96.
Managed to find treble 19, but it's not enough at this stage, not in this leg.
Merv is one of those players that sometimes comes up on the blind side, doesn't it? It doesn't seem as if he's playing well, but then you analyse his winning legs like you've just done them three, and they're exceptional. And there's no question he's got a lot of bottle. I mean, 96. You give him chances, not very often does he give them up. And you've got to play well to beat him.
Game shot on the 6th
And it's a 13 darter as well. Mervyn King looking very, very solid.
Game on.
And you don't... Bearing in mind that... All right, Michael van Gerwen has won 7 of these European tours over the last 3 years. We've had him going 4 years, but he's won 7 in that time. Phil Taylor's won 3. Michael Smith's won a couple. Nobody else has won more than 1. Merv's got 1, but he's made 3 other finals. I mean, in terms of consistency on the tour, I know that he was talked about in terms of the Premier League as well because of his brilliant performances at the back end of last year. It was about this time last year that he really started hitting form and, you know, semi-finals, quarter-finals. He really was a threat
85.
in major tournaments. He should have won the Masters, let's be honest.
Yes, he should have.
He was beaten by James Wade. He had 8 championship darts. He was 9-2 up. He should have won it. Should have been his first PDC title. But you can't write him off winning one at some stage because he's still here. He's still throwing 100 averages. He's still got the hunger for it.
Especially over this type of distance, it suits Mervyn. You know, once you start moving up to the match play distances and the World Championship distances, then it does fall into the categories of Van Gerwen and Anderson and Moore because of their consistent on the power scoring. But certainly over this distance, Mervyn King he's like a Terry Jenkins, isn't he? You know, if you're not going to play well, you just don't beat them. Yeah.
And Terry Jenkins showed that you can't give him chances. He knocked out Adrian Lewis earlier on today as Cristo Reyes fires in. It is a maximum. That's his first one of the match. And it means that he can close the gap.
60.
He's lost the last 4 legs on the spins, Cristo. This might have to go, though. He may only get 1 dart. Oh, well.
Well, he's in 45. He still only will get the 1 dart. Now it's double 16. Double 16 it is. Gets him back within 1. However, it is Mervyn King with that breaker throw.
And it's going to be very difficult to break if he carries on throwing like this. His average has just been creeping up and up and up after those first couple of legs. It's now in the mid to high 90s, Mervyn King, but here comes Cristo Reyes at ton 40.
But that's a perfect dart for King. Just hit those flights, and this is a 140. Oh,
85.
Over-pitched that.
Juggling that last dart in his hands might have just knocked him out of his rhythm a little bit there, but Cristo Reyes doesn't care. He doesn't care at all. Look at this. Oh, wonderful stuff. Cristo Reyes, wow. 2 maximums in 2 legs for Cristo Reyes. He had to find something from somewhere. Maybe this is the fight back.
82.
Well, he's got the throw. He's going to get 6 darts from 181 to get himself back in this game and perhaps be the favourite. And all of a sudden, he's finding the treble 20 with Rick Allen. Tell me that one.
Have another go. Have a good go at that. Run up.
Loads of times. His false teeth got buckled down.
Cristo Reyes, potential 11 dart leg coming in, but Mervyn King is ready and waiting to pounce if he misses. 2 darts at double 16 for 4 apiece. Last dart in hand.
25.
Oh, that is a bad miss. He worked so hard
60.
to try and get the throw back. And now Mervyn King is going to get 2 darts at double top, pitch it over that flight. And that's exactly what he's done. That was a steal from Mervyn King.
That might be the match right there. Cristo does have the throw in 2 of the remaining 3 legs. But he did everything right until he got those darts for the leg. That's unfortunate. Just
35.
pulling that one into the treble 5.
100. 60.
Michael Smith, the number 2 seed and defending champion here at the European Darts Trophy, awaits the winner of this one in our 3rd quarter-final this evening. The opening one sees the world number 1 against Dave Chisnall. Michael van Gerwen, the world number 1, of course.
And that top half is that's unbelievable, isn't it? They must be looking at the bottom. I know they're all great players here. We do realise that. But there are draws that you look at and say, well, I'd rather have that than what I've got.
Whoever comes out of that top half of the draw, Van Gerwen and Chisnell, and then Peter Wright and Terry Jenkins, you're going to have to play well. You're going to have to play really, really well. And that's very good from Cristo Reyes. Gets him down to 74, but Mervyn King, couple of trebles. And he's got them. Bullseye, is it? No, the 18s are. That is a wonderful setup from Mervyn King. Phenomenal darts. And there's huge pressure on this 74 for Cristo Reyes. He's only going to get 1 dart. And this needs to go, surely. And it's not. It's high. And Cristo knows that might be that. Double 18 for Mervyn King for a 6-3 win and a place in the quarterfinals to play defending champion Michael Smith. That's just outside. So is that.
18.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
We're just talking about Mervyn King and the way he takes his chances and doesn't let players off very often. And he's gone and done that. And I don't know if that's a smile of frustration from Mervyn King, but he's got to play at least 1 more leg. 3 clear darts at 18s.
Well, he's got to get the job done here, because if it goes to a deciding leg,
60.
Cristo Reyes would have the throw. And maybe the disappointment of those 3 match darts is something that Cristo can jump upon.
That certainly has put Mervyn King on the back foot. He's got to follow that 140.
A bit of a bounce in the step of Cristo Reyes as he went to retrieve his darts from the board there. He knows how big that visit was, and he's pretty much stolen the darts.
He's got to follow it up, Dan. Needs another 140 or a 180. Brilliant darts. Absolute first-class darts from Cristo Reyes. I mean, he's back up against the wall, and certainly he's come out with guns a-blazing. And there's not a lot in it.
And Terry Jenkins had to survive match darts against Adrian Lewis. Cristo Reyes has survived 3 against Mervyn King here.
60.
Will Mervyn get another chance? Well, suddenly he's probably favourite for this leg again, but he's consistently low on that first dart in the treble 20, and that treble 3's not helping. And that bounce out. Oh my word.
Cristo, you require 161.
Yeah, I don't understand the 3rd dart at the 25 and bullseye anyway. There's no
value in it now.
No, not at all.
The 20 would have left 152, and you would think that's a great one for him, you know, treble 20, and his favourite double 16. And Cristo Reyes isn't taking the 161 out, but he knows he will be back. He just needs to get a treble and set this up.
45.
45 is not enough for him. 116 is gettable, but it could have been easier.
Well, Reyes went off 2 140s to open up
60.
this leg, and
Cristo, you
really not hit
require
anything since.
116.
So, can he take this out? Oh, and again, like the first dart of the previous 3 slides into the 5.
27.
Oh, wow, unbelievable. He really has given the chance to Mervyn King. Now, will it be 12? Double top for Mervyn King to finally wrap this match up.
72.
Another match dart missed from Mervyn King. He had 3 at double 18. He had 1 at double top. He could have left his favourite double 16, but I think he was worried about perhaps busting his score if he'd hit his first dart and hit the treble 20 instead of the single 20. Cristo Reyes is looking at 89. Can he hold his nerve? Take this out and take us all the way to an 11th and deciding leg. That is a wonderful dart from Cristo Reyes, and he's just taking his time. This can work one or 2 ways. It could be an absolute masterstroke, but the crowd are making a bit of noise. The pressure is on, and it doesn't matter. Cristo Reyes had taken out the double 16, an 89 check out under huge pressure, and the Spaniard is on the verge of a place in the quarterfinals of a PDC event for the first time in his history, a shake of the hands. I think it might have been tempting for Merv to give it a bit of an extra squeeze.
Well, normally it's a fist pump nowadays, isn't it? Just in case someone does give your hand a bit of a squeeze. Not that it goes on, I'm sure it doesn't. But Cristo Reyes has really worked hard to get himself back to 5-all, and now has the throw and kicks on with a 140. We thought he'd given it away the previous leg. He kicked off 2 140s and then failed to hit a couple of trebles in the next 9 darts.
135.
And another match that goes all the way.
Cristo Reyes. Cristo
140.
again. Back-to-back 140s to start the leg. Taking it to Mervyn King, but Merv
140.
responding. He's right there with him. We could see more mismatched darts before we finally see a winning one.
Well, I was going to say, this is where it went wrong for both players before. They both kicked off well. It certainly went wrong for Cristo in the previous leg. 2 140s he kicked off and then failed to hit a treble in 6. Well, he hasn't done that this time.
84.
Again, it could have been better.
Perhaps 6 darts from here, though, Dan. Needs to get the dart up. No, that's not going to be good enough.
90. Cristo, you require 137.
Picking up the wrong trebles there, to be quite honest. He might not have had a choice because, you know, he needed to leave himself under the 130, did Mervyn.
97.
Cristo Reyes.
He needs 2 trebles, where before he might have only needed 1 treble for a dart at the bullseye. He's not going to do it, so Reyes comes back for double top.
40.
Cristo Reyes, double top, his first darts for the match. He survived 4 from Mervyn King, who's high with the first, low with the second.
30.
And misses double 10. Mervyn King, a lifeline. Can he seize it?
Well, he's missed 3 darts at double 18, did Mervyn King. Reyes has missed 3. He's going to get another 2 darts at that double 18. This time, he does not miss it. And Reyes has got his hands in his face saying, how did I lose that?
Mervyn King has dodged a huge bullet here. Some game again at the RWE Sport Halle in Mulheim. And Mervyn King will face the defending champion Michael Smith in our quarterfinals this evening. We have 1 more quarterfinal to set up for you. 2 more games this afternoon. The next one on stage, we'll see Ian, the Diamond White, the number 6 seed, take on Roby John Rodriguez, the precocious young Austrian. And then James Wade against Robert Thornton will be the final game of the afternoon session. What a match that could be. And the way things are going this afternoon, I would not want to bet on which way it's going to go, because we are seeing mismatched darts, close games and top performances, 100 averages all over the place. Mervyn's ended up with 90 odd there, but had to survive match darts.
No, I had 1 chance at 36 and I missed 3 darts at that, and then he was on and he had 3 darts and missed it, and I took the game, so I think that was justice.
You're actually one of only 4 players who played every European Tour event. That's not true?
Yeah, that is true, but so far, I won single fingered last year. That's just come off the rankings. I need to reach the final today to stop me going through the playoffs. So if I reach a final today, happy days. If I don't, well, we'll have to go through the playoffs.
Okay. So, what are you going to do next 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours? Practice.
Practice.
See you later again. Thank you very much. Mervyn King.